Shalom, it's following Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. Quick update on what I'm doing right now. Planting radishes. We eat a lot of radishes. In fact, my children can actually eat radishes like they eat apples. They can just pull one out and eat it. So we're planting probably around 10 garden beds of 4 rows of radishes. You see here. Also, I'm planting garlic. And you'll see in the cover picture for this video. In each one of our garden beds, we plant garlic in them. And what we're doing right now is I'm spreading them out because you see I left these in here all year and one bulb spread out to produce, 10 more garlic cloves. So I dig them up and we replant them. Here's an idea of what it'll look like. We got some bok choy in this one also. That's an idea of what it'll look like when they're planted out. So, and you'll see in most of those garden beds right there, you can see the garlic in them along with other various radishes. But we'll just look at this right here. Collapse. The collapse is coming. And more, you know, it's affecting people more and more. I know I did videos about the Civil War and I do believe violence will take place in this country. I don't think it's going to be a civil war. What I do see more is just a collapse, which could lead to, it can lead to violence. And that seems to be where we're headed. Financially, things are just bad. Let's not even talk about the possibility of stimulus checks. Things are just bad financially. Trump put the idea out there, or his cabinet put the idea, his people put the idea out there, of a 50-year mortgage, which kind of goes along with the you will own nothing and be happy. Because imagine that. Imagine you get a mortgage and it's $3,500 a month and you're 30 years old. That means you'll finish paying that off at 80. That means that at 80 years old, you're still going to have to at least make that same $3,500 a month. And we know what Social Security is, the way it's going. You're seeing not just food insecurity, but literally the people's struggle to buy food and to do everything else, to pay the rent, to pay, the renter's insurance, to pay the car insurance. Everyone wants brand new cars. I think he floated an idea of, was it 10 or 15-year auto loans? I mean, this is clearly telling you you're going to own zero. You will have that car, that house taken from you right around when you've got about, you know, 10 to 15 years left in your mortgage. And how much are you going to be paying on interest? It's just going to be phenomenal if this actually takes place. Because people are going to take it. They're going to go and say, oh, I can own a house now. And they don't understand you're not owning. You're seeing foreclosures the way they are right now. And we're on, 30-year mortgages. Imagine another 20-year on top of that. So things are just looking bad. And, the reason why when it comes to the whole idea of civil war, even though I did talk about it, and I still do believe that we're going to have civil, issues civilly, violence, things like that. When these people are told to repossess, let's say a Republican is told to repossess another Republican's car. That Republican isn't saying, hey, I'm not going to repossess your car because we're part of the same team. What instead is happening is he will go and take his tow truck with his Make America Great Again sticker on the back of it and hit your car up with your Make America Great sticker on it and drive that shit away. Because he's got a job. Because people are realizing, the way the job market is going, they got to eat. So I tend to sway far. No, I'm not speaking, saying there won't be violence. Hey, economic crises breed violence and breed heavy amounts of violence. And the violence will be civilly, but it's more like a civil violence situation, not a war situation where you have two distinct sides. It's going to, and it is heading towards a place of survival. Survival. Look at what silver is. I think yesterday silver hit over $54, $53 or $54, I believe it was. $54. It's insane how far the dollar is being devalued. It's insane how fast things are falling apart. That is why we continue to push harder and faster here. because you can see where things are going. You can see where things are headed. It's not something that you're going to miss. It's not just a time of self-sufficiency, but it's a time of wisdom, the wisdom of the Most High Yah, the wisdom of what people call God or the Lord will save you, and at least will preserve you. I mean, look at the time of the story of Joseph. Wisdom that he had saved him. The vision that he was able to interpret and the wisdom that the Most High gave him saved him and his family and the whole nation. And, there aren't enough people that are willing to walk in that wisdom today. People are still trying to figure out how they're going to enjoy their life. And this is not a time in which, it's going to be, hey, hunky-dory and everyone's going to be just enjoying life. This is a time where you have to start looking ahead. What do things look like in 5 years? What do things look like next year? They're pushing AI. AI is just consuming a large majority of jobs. A large majority of jobs are being consumed by AI. Things are just horrendous right now. There's no sign that it's going to reverse and go and get better. And a lot of us have been saying this for years. A lot of us have tried to be the watchman and to cry out in hopes that people will hear that things aren't going to get better, and slowly things have gotten worse. Slowly. It's not just about food storage anymore. It's about, how do you make it? And because after this, whenever they find a solution for what is taking place right now, it's going to lead to more control by the government, less your own preeminence, your own dominion for yourself, your own ability to make decisions. We're getting to a time where people are having to go further and further into the system. They're literally whole swaths of this country are being migrated into large metropolitan areas, cities, where people have this presumption that they're going to land themselves a high-paying job when they just find themselves. I mean, many people have sold out here where I am and moved into larger cities in hopes of landing good jobs. They can't afford to commute anymore. They can't afford to drive into the city, an hour or 2 hours because everything costs too much. And their dollar isn't stretching. Yeah, gas may be, at a decent price, but when the food is going up, all the savings that they would make in gas and more is being funneled into food, their ability to eat, and everything else is going up. So this is not a time to, even if they do float $2,000 stimulus checks for every American. What happened last time? People bought TVs. It's amazing. I'm looking at it like and started adding these things up. They're floating the idea of stimulus checks right around the time of, the world's and their celebration of Christmas, where people are just going to take that money and funnel it back into, the quote unquote holidays, which I don't celebrate. It's just amazing. It's an amazing situation. And like people are just playing right in to the game, playing right in, being sucked right in to everything that is happening. I am hoping that people are taking into consideration of investing in yourself, investing into what you have, investing into the soil, investing into the work of your hands, into skills, into trades, into something. Because it looks that these jobs, these jobs are warehouse jobs, and I've worked warehouse before, so I'm in no way speaking against the work. It was honest work. It paid me pretty damn well, and I was able to save up, to buy this land, working a warehouse job in another state. But things are not going to get better. And if you haven't figured this out, and if you're still hoping or stimulus checks, and I'm going to go and buy this and buy this new game and buy this, and I can get a down payment for a car, which is what they hope you do. They're not hoping that you invest in yourself. They're hoping you invest into the economy and keep the economy afloat. They don't give a damn about whether you float or not. You can float, you can sink, you can swim. They don't care. Reality, what's happening is like the movie Titanic. When the ship was sinking, the violinists and all of them are still playing the instruments in hopes that, you can calm the people down. Even though the ship is sinking, even though the violinists and all of them had to keep relocating on the boat because it was sinking, The whole point is to try and bring calm to everybody so they don't realize they're about to die. While the first class people jump on the boat, all the little peons, no, they're locking you behind the gate. Something to consider. Because if you don't, these things are still coming. Bless you all, and shalom.